This is The Infected. This is a viewer request from a viewer named Malatoor, who said that this was an addictive survival game that he was really interested in seeing me play. And I think it might have been him who said there was like an upcoming update that was going to advance this game even further. And he was curious to sort of like see my reaction to the game as it is now and then see how it evolves over time. It turned out I had actually already bought this game a while ago, and I had just kind of forgotten that I had. I do remember that it is a survival base building game with a nice, pretty straightforward to follow tutorial system. And actually, that's what I spent most of my time doing the first time I played this, was just going through the tutorial system and learning how the base building system works. I should greet some folks from my chat. Of course, we've got Ranethcord, La Coalición, and Cogs here. We've also got Rosenberg and Senor Sausage and Quintarius Quincy. So thank you all for coming along for the ride. Malatoor is not here yet, so whenever I see him come in, hopefully he has time to join us today, I'll of course be greeting him. But if not, I hope he gets to watch this later on YouTube, because this is his request. Let me just check. I just got a... Okay, I just got a text, but it's not a thing that I have to follow up on right this second. So, instead of following up on my texts, let's get into the game. So, I'm hitting new game. There's a bunch of options here, and I don't think I need to change any of them. I'm definitely not turning on free build or God mode. That does sound like it could be potentially fun, because this game, it can take a long time to build something. And so I could see that somebody, might want to turn that on, but I'm not going to. We're just going to start the game like a regular old person. Oh, but I've got to type a name for it too. Well, let's type Malatoor as the name of our game and get started. Hey, Dr. Lackenstein has joined us. So Dr. Lackenstein, I think, has also recommended that I play a game today. So if we have time, I will try to get to his request as well. If I don't, because today's kind of a busy day, because today's my birthday, then we might have to do Lackenstein's request another time. So, okay, so here I am. I have landed in a lovely world full of trees and rocks and things like that. I'm not actually sure... Okay, yes, I'm pretty sure that this world, I don't know if it's procedurally generated or... No, this looks familiar. I think this map looks really familiar to me. Like it's the same map every time, but I think I've started in a different place. I think you always start, at least in my experience, you always start next to a small lake. I think the last time I played, I started next to this lake, but now I'm next to this lake. So they give you some nice variety by letting you start near different things. And the map seems like it's pretty large. So, yeah, so right now I'm just wandering around. And when I first started this game, I was like, what am I supposed to do? It's called The Infected. I don't see any infected. All I see is trees and rocks and dirt and stuff. But there is, you can see at the bottom of the screen, hold F to view tutorial and player stats. So I'm going to hold F, and it's got this list of tutorial tasks, which sort of set me on the right path to figuring out how to survive in this game. So, first off, we got to gather some stone and some sticks and make a stone axe and a stone blade. The first time I played this, I got very confused because I was like, here's a rock. Here's a rock. Which I can't pick up these rocks. What's going on? Where it told me to pick up a rock. I can't pick up a rock. Turns out it's these floaty gray rocks. That's what I need to be picking up. And so you can kind of recognize that they're a subtly different color from the other rocks. It took me a while to figure out that those special rocks existed. So I'm going to wander around and grab a handful of these just to make sure I've got enough for my upcoming tasks. So I believe that these things, they actually just sort of spawn around you. And so it could be that if you're just running around a whole bunch, they might not have time to spawn. Wait, what is that? Is that some kind of wild pumpkin? Okay, we're going to leave that alone because I feel like that's a little too special for me right now. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this pumpkin. I am absolutely not ready for this pumpkin. So we're just going to remember that pumpkin is there. So right now, you can see in the lower right, I've got a bunch of stats. Looks like my health, my stamina, if I run around... By the way, this is a frog. I imagine there's probably a way to murder frogs, but I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, if I run around, you can see my purple bar, the stamina is going down. My the light blue bar is water, which, I need to drink periodically, though luckily not yet. And then my green bar is food. And this is where this game gets absolutely insane. They keep track of all the different nutrients that you need. So you can get not just starved in this game, you can get malnourished in this game, which is nuts. Okay, here's another stick. And right there, is another stone. So it looks like these rocks on the ground, they look like they are procedurally scattered. Now, I don't know if they're procedurally scattered at runtime. Probably not. I'm betting they're using some kind of tool that basically makes an interesting, realistic-looking ground surface. And that involves scattering a bunch of rocks in places where it's not scattering a bunch of grass. Because people who are experienced with video games can really easily recognize a flat texture that is made to look 3D but isn't 3D. And so being able to sort of scatter a bunch of rocks on the surface that have, that react to light and stuff like that, really can make your ground texture look nicer. And it also keeps it from looking repetitive, because textures, just baseline old school textures, will repeat endlessly. But if you're using what it seems like the kinds of tools it looks like they're using here, what you have is multiple different ground shaders, and you're sort of fading between them in different areas. And so you're always getting a mix of multiple textures. So you can't just see it tiling across the world. And then they're also scattering debris, random plants and things like that on it to try to make it look nice. But the problem is, like, when you're asking the player to go pick up a rock, but you're using like procedural, like surface generation for your ground that involves scattering a lot of random rocks, that can be difficult. That can create some difficulties for you as a player. So the first time I played this game, and I think the second time I played this game, I ran around trying to figure out what counted as a rock for a really, really long time. So, La Coalition, I think I'm probably not going to contribute to your polls this time, because this is the kind of game where if I click away from it, all the audio goes away. And so, unfortunately, to read your polls, La Coalition, I have to click away, because they get abbreviated on my screen. So, if you want me to answer the poll, I think you might have to just quote it to me in the chat. It looks like it might be something about my birthday, which is fun. Okay, so I think I have actually successfully gathered enough stones and sticks that I should move on to crafting. So, crafting. You hit the I key. That opens up your inventory. And you can see I've got 5 sticks, which stack. And I've got 8 rocks, which do not stack. And I think that the stacks can only get about, I don't know, can they only get 5 deep? I think maybe so. Then I click on this. This is my crafting surface. So if I want to make a stone blade, I just put a stone here, craft it, and now I have a stone blade. I basically, was napping that stone. I was like beating on that stone until it got larger for some reason. And then if you right-click and hold on any item, you get a special menu that lets you grab, say, one item. And so I can make a stone axe. And the axe seems like it disappeared, but it didn't actually. If I open up my equipment side of my backpack, you can see I've got 4 slots for tools here on my back, and these actually correspond to the not arrow keys, the number keys. I don't know why I said arrow keys. Those correspond to the number keys. So, so that means that now that I can equip my axe whenever I need to by hitting the number 1. And then the last thing I think I wanted to do was, let's get another stick. I think if I combine this stick and this blade... Oh, am I wrong about that? Oh, no, I also need some plant fibers. That's right. In order to make a pick, I need to get some plant fibers. And plant fibers come from chopping the trees down. So let's go chop down a tree. Yes, this is your traditional... It's not quite a tree punching game, but it is a tree chopping game. And so a lot like Grounded and The Forest... Logs are like special items that don't go normally into your backpack. Instead, you kind of carry them in a heap on your shoulder. So now I've chopped down some logs. Did I also get plant fibers while I was at it? Yes, I did get plant fibers. So you can see that my next thing I need to make... Oh yeah, I gather some plant fiber. I need to make a stone pickaxe. Now, you might wonder, How did I learn all of these recipes? Because there are some games where you can just stick crap on the crafting surface and it will provide you with information. It'll just show you, oh, hey, you could make this, you can make that, add a little bit more of this, you can get that. I think Sons of the Forest is one that tries to help you along a lot of the that way. This game doesn't really do that. Instead, what you've got is these books up here. So you can look at Itempedia, and you can see all of the things that you can craft. And if you click on, say, if you hover over the stone pickaxe, it says stick times 1, stone blade times 1, plant fiber times 2. And you have to get that exactly right. Like, let's open up the crafting surface. So, for instance, if I took all of my sticks and put them here, and the blade, and all of my plant fiber, that actually doesn't work. That's not a valid recipe. So if I split this and split it again, okay, there I've got 2. And then if I split this times 1 and get rid of the other 3, now I can craft a stone pickaxe. So yeah, I had it in my head that like, oh, if I just put too many things down, it'll show me what I can make, and I choose one. So I just I'll just throw all my crap on here and discover some recipes. That's not how it works. You have to know the recipe in advance and get it exactly right, or get extremely lucky. But now you can see I've got a stone pickaxe on my back, which means I can destroy rocks and turn them into more smaller rocks. So now, what is the next thing on my list here? Build a saw bench. That's right. Okay, so building things. How does building things work? So Rosenberg actually just noticed that because I was chopping down trees this way, he's like, oh, I need to get back into Grounded. There's a big update. So I haven't played Grounded in a while. I should actually go back to it too. I know that OG Jawafawa, one of my coworkers and fellow Twitch streamers, is really, really into that game. And that does make me want to check it out again. Right now, I've been playing more Valheim in that genre, but there we go. So, all right. Now, we can also, now that we've got a pickaxe, we can smash up stones if we want to. There, now I can get all the stones I want. I don't have to do all that wandering around that I was doing before. I'm not going to pick them up right now because I don't have a really good place to put them. But, okay, now that I've collected all of these logs, though, yeah, let's do what we said we were going to do, which is look up things we can construct. So, placeables include the saw bench. So, the saw bench requires 4 logs. Well, I definitely have 4 logs. So, what I want to do is I want to think about where do I want to build my house. So, there's this nice flat piece of terrain here that's probably a good place for a house. It's right near the water, which is convenient. So, I want to build my saw bench nearby in a nice, lovely spot, like maybe right here. Let's build it right there. So let's get it positioned just right, hit E. And now this is the type of game where you place blueprints first, and then you fill those blueprints up with the ingredients that they require. I think I can only carry 3 of these, right? Yep, I can only carry 3 logs at once. So I load my logs in, boink, 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 and then it requires 4, so we'll grab another one. And boink. And then this becomes a saw bench, which means we can make planks. Now, making planks is annoying, though not as annoying as it could be. So basically you load a log in there, and then you can kind of hear it. An invisible ghost is sawing this and planing it into some planks. Oh, that was great. Thank you, ghost. Let's grab another one and have that kindly ghost help me out. Now, it might be more convenient if I didn't have to run all the way across the field every time I wanted to put a log in there. Also, I mean, I can bring 3 logs at once, but then I just got to stand here and just load the logs in one at a time, right? Not quite. I think the best way that I've found to do this so far, and I'm still very new to this game, is there is is it a placeable storage? There is a log stand. So you can actually you can at least put something here that lets you store logs very close. So you can load it up with logs and just come over and add each new log as you're ready for it. Sorry, tab cancels out of that. So it needs 6 sticks. I only have 3 sticks, so I'm stuck doing manual log stuff until... let's go find some more sticks. Now, I'm not sure. I think I might have to pick up sticks off the ground. I'm not sure if I get sticks if I chop a tree down. Actually, let's go. Oh, wait, here's a stick. Let's chop a tree down and see if we get any sticks. So I've got 1 stick right now. Let's chop down a tree and see if I get a stick from that. Okay, so apparently the poll that La Coalition was running was about the kind of birthday I should have. And they said that apparently they want me to have a "The Cake is a Lie" themed birthday, which is appropriate. So when my family was asking me what kind of cake I wanted, I actually initially said no cake. So I think I only had the 1 stick. Let's try chopping some more stuff down and see if I get a stick. If not, I might need to go out hunting for the sticks. Oh, Coalition suggested, what if I can chop the logs to get sticks? That is not a thing I considered. Let me try that real fast. I don't know if you can chop the logs. I'm not hearing a sound. So I think maybe not. I think maybe you cannot chop the logs. So it's not like Valheim, where you can chop logs to get smaller amounts of wood. So let's try chopping a couple of trees. I think I am getting plant fiber from these, but I don't think... Yeah, you saw the plant fibers stack up along the right side. I didn't see a stick. Maybe if I chopped in a larger tree, I might get a stick? But yeah, I'm just getting fibers and logs. Let me try a slightly larger tree. What about this tree? But anyway, so my initial answer was no cake. I actually just wanted chicken pot pie with candles in it. Because chicken pot pie is... Whoa, there were a lot of logs from that tree. But no sticks. Okay, so sticks do have to be picked up off the ground. So let's go and find a couple more sticks for our log pile. Oh, I see one. Mostly you can see sticks because anytime a stick is behind something, it glows. Like, frogs do the same thing. Like, resources glow when they're obscured by nearby foliage. So actually, foliage is a better place. Weirdly, it's a better place to look for sticks and rocks and things, as you can see, because they're highlighted here, and they're not highlighted on the regular old ground. I'm not picking up the stones, because I've actually already got too many stones over by my base. Oh, some kind of little hoppy bird. A little hoppy bird. Hey, hoppy bird. But then we realized that, while cake is often... Oh, another pumpkin. Got to remember these pumpkin locations. By the way, I'm halfway down on my thirst, so at some point I'm going to have to drink. Let's hope I figure out how that's done. But yeah, there was... cake is served cool. You cook it, but then you let it cool down before you serve it, then you stick wax candles into it. Chicken pot pie is served hot. And so I don't necessarily want wax melting into the food, so we decided not to go with that. And so instead we are having a cake, and we are having some chicken pot pie for dinner prior to the cake. So there you go. Let's see here. So La Coalition says, what a very weird mechanic. I assume you're talking about the highlighted things. I mean, I'm betting what they found was it was impossible to find anything in the foliage. And they were like, well, let's do something about that, and let's highlight things so that you can find things in the foliage. I wonder if I can I murder a frog, like, with an axe? It doesn't look like it. Oh, I totally can! I didn't know I could engage in frog murder. Ah, yes! Oh, frog murder makes me so happy. Okay, where am I exactly? I've lost myself. Okay, there's the lake. Oh, and here's some logs I must have chopped down at some point. Or somebody did. Anyway, let's add materials. There. Now we've added enough sticks that we can pile up logs, and one of these logs can go in there. So I'm making a bunch of planks, and the reason it's important to me ooh, it's starting to rain. Ooh, 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 ooh. So I believe that one of the things I need the planks for is to make a water basin. 6 planks. So a water basin during the rain will collect water. I don't want to put it in a place where it doesn't look like it's going to be full of foliage. So quickly, before this And I want to find a nice, pretty place for it, though. Okay, right next to this rock. For some reason, putting things next to rocks makes me happy. I'm not sure why. So there, okay. And then, I keep hitting escape to get out of that tool, but it's actually something else. So, let's... Okay, I can only carry 5 of those at once right now. Okay, so I'm just moving planks over here to my water basin. Collect water, water basin! Collect like the wind. Okay, so now it's collecting water. So I just need to keep transferring logs over to the sawmill. The saw thing, the saw whatever. But there's a freaking stick right there? Okay, fine. Oops. And there. So yeah, I'm really thankful to this friendly ghost that is helping me with my log situation. I really hope there's not a get struck by lightning mechanic in this game, because I would be very susceptible to it right now. So, La Coalition says, I don't know about you, but the graphics in this game look really amazing until you move. So, I'm curious what it is about moving that makes you feel like it makes the graphics worse in this game. Because is it specifically things like the highlights that are sort of standing out to you as I move around in the world, or is there something else going on that's making you? Because I mean, I will definitely say like the main menu is gorgeous. They can definitely construct a really beautiful world with these tools. I think part of the issue you might be seeing is this is a big flat area that's mostly procedurally populated by trees, and they're kind of evenly sort of spaced out. So it could be that as I move around, you're starting to feel kind of how artificial the environment is, with sort of the evenly scattered trees and rocks. And most of these sort of like starting places are built like this. So it might just the unreality of that might be getting to you, maybe as I sort of move around. You can kind of feel the shape of the world. So Orathal says that I should have had a cake that looks like a pot pie. So it's a pot pie on the outside, but you cut into it and it's a cake. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm getting thirsty and a little bit hungry, but thirsty faster. So let's open up our inventory, and there's a special food pouch in your inventory, and so you can eat things. So I think this raw meat might be from that frog, and it's going to spoil at some point, but I don't know what to do about that yet. This is a flask, so I can drink from my flask, and that fills up my drinkiness, but it doesn't have any more clean water in it, so I just used it the once. And I can also eat some beef stew from this package. I'm going to hesitate, though, a little bit, just because I'm not sure how much it fills me, and I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to hold on to that a little bit longer. But my flask, I think, it's 5. I have 5 beef stews. That 5 is for the beef stew. The flask is empty now, but I'm not sure, actually, whether I can get clean water from it. Like, I can hit... Do I drag this over here? Do I hit take water? Do I... I'm not sure how this works exactly. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've got dirty water in my flask now. So I don't know what happens if I drink the dirty water. It might not be good for me. So I might need to figure out a way to purify that water, and I'm genuinely not sure how that's done. I've obtained water. Maybe the campfire is what I need. Rain will put out the fire, so build a shelter to protect the flames from the rain. The shelter can be found in the construction filter tab. Okay, so I could build a foundation first, but I'm thinking my water situation is probably a little bit more dire. So let's look in the building. So did they say placeables? Was the water, the shelter that I could use? NPC buildings, what? I can have NPCs? Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot going on in this game that I do not fully understand. Water house? No, that doesn't seem right. Greenhouse. Maybe it's under construction. There's roofs. Others. Wooden gate. Shelter. Okay, here we go. So so a shelter. Let's build a shelter next to our water basin. And that just all that takes is 4 logs, I believe. Let's look at it. Yeah, wood log 0 of 4. Okay, well, great. let's keep the logs going here. Wait, I meant to grab these. Yes. So weirdly, grabbing an item from a container is a right click. And putting an item in a container, or putting an item is E. But E is how you pick up an item off the ground. So it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit counterintuitive. Like if I walk over here to pick up these logs, I push E to do it. But if I walk up to the ones in the container, I have to push right click to do it. I keep kind of messing that up. So we've got a shelter here. Let's have a look at how do we make a campfire. Placeables, maybe? Food? Campfire. 10 stones and 8 firewood. Firewood? Okay, we'll put that there. How does one make firewood? Hold on. Let's look at campfire. Let's see here. It doesn't say how to make campfire. Sorry, how to make... It does say how to make campfire. It doesn't say how to make firewood. Interesting. Okay, how would one make firewood? Is there something that I can construct that would let me make firewood? Like, is there a placeable? Like, is there a chopping block? The loom workbench, circular saw bench, advanced workbench. None of these things look like they're like chopping blocks. Yeah, Rosenberg is suggesting a chopping block too, and Ranithcord is suggesting chopping a log with an axe, but I already tried that, and that didn't seem possible. So, what counts as firewood? I don't know. Okay, well, while I'm thinking about that, let's also place a foundation. So, the first time... So, I always try to be clever when I'm playing games like this. I'm like, oh, they want me to build something simple, but I'm going to build something complicated because I'm so smart. The first 2 times I played this game, I thought, oh, I'm not just going to build a foundation. I'm going to build, like, a whole thing. I'm going to build, like, a fancy... ridiculous house. I'm gonna put multiple foundations and make a nice shape for a big pretty house. And you know what that resulted in? That resulted in me spending so long building this, because this takes 4 logs and 6 planks. 4 logs is all I have right now, and 6 planks. So each log does make more than 1 plank, which is helpful. But yeah, like, so that wasn't too bad. But think of the number of trees I would have to chop down to make several of these foundations and then put walls on them, which also take a bunch more of the same resources. So for right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a very simple house, and if later on I want a more complicated house, I can spend my own time doing that rather than making you watch me. So I am going to chop down several more of these trees because I'm going to need that eventually. So yeah, if somebody wants to Google, by the way, how to get firewood in the Infected, and wants to post it in the chat, I will be your best friend. Because that will be much faster than me trying to poke around and figure it out. See, I'm just going to chop down all these nearby trees. So La Coalition says that apparently DayZ is getting a new update that's supposed to make it easier for new players, and so he's interested in maybe trying to get me to join him in his server again, to try to try out the latest version sometime. I would be up for that. Here, let me just put that in there and just keep making more planks. So yeah, so a lot of this game is running around doing resourcey stuff. And so it really does make you appreciate the fact, I was making fun of the friendly ghost who helps you saw your logs, but actually, I mean, that is essential for this game. I'm doing so much running around finding resources that it's actually really, really important. By the way, so I killed that last frog. I'm betting that the frog before I figure out how to cook it, I'm betting that frog goes bad. Because I think I've got... This meat is going to go bad in 18 minutes. So unless we find... Okay, so let's see here. Lakonison says, firewood is obtained by harvesting wood logs. You mean like... Oh, do they just give me firewood? That's entirely possible. What's this? This is bark chips. Doesn't sound like firewood. There are a lot of them. It says by chopping down tree stumps or chopping the decorative logs that are scattered around the map. Okay, chopping tree stumps. Oh, like this stump right here. Let's try chopping this stump. Come on. Okay, that makes firewood. Cool. Cool. Let's grab some more stuff, run it around. All right. We might not be entirely hopeless now. So let's... Okay, so put all my stones and my firewood in there. It's getting dark, so maybe I should have made more progress faster. I'll grab that stuff later. Where is another stump? Quick, Jeffrey, find a stump before it gets too dark to see anything. Come on. You used to be good at this. You used to run around looking for rotten trees with your friends in the woods. There it is. People make fun of tree punching, like wrestling a tree. Fighting a tree is a thing you can't do. You absolutely can. My friends and I used to run through the woods when I was a teenager, recognizing like rotten trees, sort of thin rotten trees, and then tackling them to the ground at a run, which was great, except when you misestimated and attacked a tree that was just fully alive and fine. Then you would fall down. But let's see here. So I think it was over here, wasn't it, where I broke that? Oh, do rocks despawn? I bet rocks despawn. Okay. So I made a bunch of rocks around here, but they're gone now. So now this time, I'm going to hack up this rock. Then I got to pick up all the rocks. I thought I was being clever leaving all those rocks around for later because I knew I was going to need them for like campfires and stuff. But I actually need to pick these rocks up or I've wasted the rocks. I cannot waste a single rock. Oh my gosh. I'm going so slow now. I'm carrying way too much. Can I at least get to the campfire and drop off the stone? By the way, I'm sorry if you're having trouble seeing what's going on. It is very dark here. It might be brighter on my screen than yours. So I apologize for that. All right, here we go. Add materials. Okay, we have now got this. Let's... Wait, what are the... No? Can I... How do I... Raw meat... Okay, so I put some raw meat there. Okay, so I've got these nodes where I can stick stuff. How do I use this campfire? Okay, hold on. I've got these little nodes where I can stick things. Okay, so the campfire's not on. So can I, like, light it? Or do I have to put... Oh, bark chips? Oh, there we go. I had to put fuel on the fire. And so now I can... Okay, so I can put dirty water in there, and I'm cooking my food. Okay, let's grab some more water. So take water. Okay, I'm gonna get as much water in here as I possibly can. Grab some more. Put it in there. Okay, almost got enough. Well, actually, I don't know what happens if I put a partial amount in there. So, okay, I've got some cooked meat now. We're going to eat some cooked meat. We're going to eat. It's going to be so good. Eat it. So you can see my fat content of my stomach went up by a significant amount. My overall hunger went up by a smaller amount. I got some protein. Didn't get as much carbohydrate or vitamins from that. What the heck, right? So how is the water doing? So, okay, we got clean water. So now I'm going to obtain clean water, and now I can... Oh, yeah, I need to drink it. Anyway, so let's drink the clean water. Drink. Okay, and that filled me up. Let's grab some more clean water. And I said, grab some more clean water. There we go. Okay, and we got another canteen's worth still in there. So, okay, so I got bark chips from chopping those trees down. I maybe didn't need to use all of them in the fire. Maybe that was dumb. I don't know. But what I probably need more than anything is a place to rest. So I don't know if I have time to build a house before it just gets... before I've just basically been up all night. As far as I can tell... Oh yeah, I do have an energy meter. That's, I think the golden meter down there is my energy meter. So I have to see if I can build a house in time to, like, not collapse on my feet, I guess. But hey, I think we've accomplished something really cool so far, which is, I think, I can hunt frogs and eat frogs. I can, collect dirty water, turn it into clean water. I think I've kind of got, I've got a lot of my basic needs sort of short-term taken care of, which feels really good. Dr. Lackency says, this is definitely not for survival casuals. This game is serious about, like, the details. Like, you really have to care about things being simulated to enjoy this game. So Echo United asks, so is this like a zombie game? I think it is. I think there's zombies in this game. I have never encountered them. I've started playing it a handful of times, and each time I just sort of, like, I got into the groove of, building my base and feeding myself and taking care of all of those kinds of things. I've never encountered a zombie. I'm not sure where that is done. But I'm pretty sure, the game is called The Infected. There must be zombies, right? I just don't know. I don't know where they are. I don't understand it yet. But I think that this might actually be a good time for us to wrap up an episode and make the next episode about me trying to build my house and find a place to sleep and see what other sort of industrial things I can come up with. But we figured out the basics of survival, and I think we overcame some important obstacles. Not knowing what stones looked like, not knowing where to get firewood, not knowing if we could beat up a frog, which we apparently can. Those are all mysteries to me at some point or another. So, we've answered some questions, and I think in our next episode, we'll probably be able to answer some more. So, if you're watching later on YouTube, I'm going to stick the next episode right there. But if you're watching me live on Twitch, we're just going to go on and try to build a house. So, join me.